All right, it's Saturday, June 25th. Annette asked if I would do a garden update. So to start off our year, we went into the spring with just about zero moisture. It was super dry. And all spring, basically, we had 3/10 of an inch over about 3 months. So getting anything to start in the garden was really super tough. And our MD declared a state of emergency. It was so dry. And then come about June 6th, it started raining, and we've had a couple, 2-3 really super good rains that have just really turned everything around. And it came just in time because another week of dry, we were going to have to sell cows because there was just not going to be any grass or anything. So we're looking at a second year of drought, stuff that's just in the process of recovering from that. The grass is coming back, but it's delayed about 3 weeks anyways out in the field. But everything's growing great guns, and there's lots of moisture, and stuff is looking good. One thing we're running into is lots of flea beetles this year. Guys that are growing canola, they're spraying for flea beetles, and it ate off all our early radishes, and they were even eating beets. We just couldn't grow a radish. They just ate the tops off it so quick. 2 varieties of flea beetles, I guess, and one is particularly voracious. But yeah, so I'm not going to apologize for the grass and the weeds and everything. I'm just going to show you what's going on and what Annette's been working hard on, and take some pictures around the yard. And another week or two we'll do it again, and things will be bigger with any luck. So this is the first year doing a 30-inch bed system. The garden is 100 feet long, but for simplicity, we decided to split it in half, so we have 50 feet of bed and then a pathway down the middle with the water hydrant right in the middle, just so you have some idea of scale. The first bed here, that was our very first row of carrots we seeded and watered, and they took forever to come up. But and then 3 weeks later, we seeded some more carrots, and then 3 weeks later, we seeded some more carrots. And then over there, that's wasabi radish. We had a couple of radishes that didn't get ate off by the flea beetles, and just today I seeded another bunch of carrots in there. So we've been seeding carrots and dill every 3 weeks so that we have fresh dill and fresh carrots hopefully ready all at the same time. And that's onions. They were started from sets. They're all growing great guns. There's onions and leeks and, I don't know, scallions, all kinds of stuff in there. I can't remember it all. And she started these, I think, are Walla Wallas here. She started right from seed, which is, they're kind of hard to see, but we got some last year and it didn't rain at all, so we'll see what happens. Whenever we see dill in the garden, we usually like to leave it. It's a good companion plant, and so when we're weeding, we leave the dill, and it'll get all used up. So this is Heroa spinach, and had a little trouble getting our kale to start, but there's some coming there. And these beets were seeded the very first go around. They're taking forever. They finally recovered from all the damage that they had from bugs, and there was some disease on them too. We never had that much trouble with beets. But this row of beets is 3 weeks earlier than that row of beets over there in the middle, and it's almost caught up. We went back, and in the blank spots we reseeded beets just to fill in the gaps, just because. So that's what we did there. Those are turnips, and you can see all those shot holes in there. That's flea beetle damage. This is some dill we seeded with the first bunch of carrots. And she's got leeks planted in these little holes. I don't know much about leeks, but Where is it? Get a really good look at that weed. There it is. There's a leek. And can you see it? I can see it. But oh, there's another leek. Yeah, so there's a bunch of leeks planted. They're amazingly hardy for what they've had to go through here. Anyways. So a little bit of celery. This is like only the second time we've ever grown celery. And we had a bunch of extra tomatoes and peppers that were just kind of leftover plants. So we got them in this row here. And what do we got here? This is a white icicle. Oh, these are radishes. So these are radishes that we seeded and we're trying to get going in amongst the flea beetles. This would be a second seeding of radishes that are just super tough growing radishes this year. I don't know why, but anyway. So a couple things we've been doing with the garden. We've been concentrating on trying to improve how we can water it and fighting with the wind. So we've been concentrating our efforts on knocking down the wind as best we can, because we've had some terrible windstorms, and getting easier, better watering systems out here. So that's kind of been what we've been doing this year. So in the spring, I put up some more wind fence around the outside. We had some about around most of the garden. And then I put up some chain link just to keep the rabbits out, because we were having a bunch of rabbits. And some people put slats in their chain link fence, but if we did that without having super heavy posts in there, the wind will just blow that right over and bend those posts right off. So we're not going to do that with the wind, with chain link. So this is a 4-foot pathway, and right next to our potatoes here, we put in a row of sunflowers, and this is kind of a sacrifice row. We've put it in there, and these are giant sunflowers. They're going to get really big, and the idea is to try and break the wind halfway down the garden. The prevailing wind, that's west, comes from there, so the sun will kind of come up over there and down on the other side, well, higher than that. So these shouldn't shade too much. That's part of our windbreak process. Here's some potatoes. Just tilled those. We're having trouble getting some zucchini, and a couple of our squash seeds never germinated. So we're still waiting for them to come up. That's kind of strange. So here's a row of corn. And there again, this row of corn is here to try and break the wind. So we got a row of corn here, and we got a row of sunflowers there. And then over here, we've been trying for years to get a row of lilacs going, and we're still plugging away at that. But they're coming. It's just tough. This quarter of the garden here is basically my sister-in-law. She's got some potatoes and some beans and some stuff planted here. She got a pretty nice catch on her beets, and they were late enough they missed most of the flea beetles, and she got a beautiful catch on her carrots. Wow, that's just amazing how well those carrots caught. I couldn't believe it. We seeded carrots the day before and the day after, and they didn't catch like that. There's some more of her stuff, looking good. So we put up a fence here. This is tomatoes on that side there, and the tomatoes are intention is to form another kind of a wind barrier for that part of the garden. We're zone 2 here. Sometimes we like to pretend we're zone 3, but nature usually tells us we're zone 2 in the spring when all our zone 3 stuff is dead. Here's your cabbage tunnel. And these radishes were seeded, these are the last radishes we seeded. And you can see there's a couple of flea beetles on them. They look good now, but we'll maybe have to get some DE on them, or they'll just be ate right up, because there's still flea beetles going here. And we had a beautiful catch on our beans here. They had their first, I don't know, true leaves. And then the wind came out of the north for a couple of days, and it just rattled these big fat leaves. It rattled them so much it snapped them all right off. And so they're coming back, but they're pretty beat up. Sister-in-law had some beans that just came up after that wind, and they look really good. So here we have more sunflowers. She's growing these for microgreens. These are going to be microgreen sunflowers. And she reseeded some beets over, or sorry, some beans over here to try and recover from our big wind that wrecked everything. We had some snow peas planted here, and only about 3 came up from here to here. And these are just regular peas. We seeded them all the same day, the same way, but different seeds. So we took out the 3 that didn't grow and we replaced them with beans. We just got our fence up for our peas here. And we're just on the other side of where those tomatoes are. We've just got some herbs and some marigolds and stuff plugged in there. She's promised me this year she's going to trim all the leaves off the bottom of these tomatoes so that they're not going to overgrow and take over that. And she's going to train them up the fence. So that's what we're going to do. These are all lavenders. I've never grown lavender before. I love the smell of it, and these are, I started these from seeds in the house this year and moved them out to the garden. I don't know what they're going to do, but they lived. So here they are. And this is some of her lettuce she started from seed and moved out here. And then we've got peppers, more tomatoes, and what do we got here? Oh, another strip of dill. That's going to be dill there. This is, I don't know if I mentioned this little bit. Here's some cilantro. We kept seed from some coriander seed, which is cilantro and coriander, I guess, is the same stuff. It's just cilantro when it's green and coriander maybe when it's the seed. I don't know. But anyways, we crunched up the seeds and seeded it down here, and it came pretty good. And Annette hates the taste of it, but I love it, so we got lots. Got some raised bed garden boxes just right close to the house. She's got planted all kinds of stuff. Most of it's still just small herbs, and I don't know. She keeps telling me I can't keep track of it all. These are 4x8. We call them graveyard boxes. They're actually a pretty nice size for raised beds. We had to finally put up a little bit of fence and a gate on the garlic patch because something kept getting into our garlic and breaking it off. I don't know what it was, but every morning we come out and there's a bunch more broke off. So this is behind her greenhouse. We've got a bunch of raspberries. That's a new raspberry patch we started last year. It's taken off. Another rhubarb in the raised bed back there. And we're trying to get some more strawberries going. We haven't had a strawberry bed for a while, so we're trying to get that started. And a few peas at this end. This is inside her greenhouse. And some hang pots and a bunch of tomatoes and no end of stuff in here. just getting going. This will be a jungle in 3 weeks. You won't be able to get in the door.